Hello students, through these slides I'll be dealing with what is leveling, uses of leveling and different terminologies in leveling. So leveling, it is the art of determining relative vertical distance. Okay, relative vertical distance. For example, the height of the mountain from the base, or the height of the buildings from the basement, or for example the height of the trees. Likewise, when we measure the relative vertical distance of different points, that is called as leveling. Okay. So the main aim of her leveling is to determine the relative height of different objects. Okay, the heights may be measured either above the ground surface or below the ground surface. Okay, and in case of leveling, all the measurements will be taken in vertical plane. Okay, in this slide I have quoted some uses of leveling, and the first one is we can prepare contour maps with the help of leveling. Okay, the contour line or the lines joining the point having same elevation. Okay, I have given the image in this right hand side. Second image on the right hand side is the contour map. Okay, so this contour map can be used for fixing the sites for reservoirs, dams construction. Okay, also for aligning the roads, railways as well as irrigation canal. The second use is we can determine the altitudes of different points on a hill. Okay, then the third one is we can the leveling will be useful for calculating the volume of earthwork. Okay, earthwork is nothing but how much amount of soil should be excavated or soil should be added to fill a pit like that. Okay, that things can be done with the help of leveling. And last one is we can prepare a map for laying out a water supply or a drainage line. In coming slides I'll be explaining about different terminologies used in leveling. In that, first one is a level surface. Okay, if you see the image on my right hand side, that is the first image, we have the center of the earth, and the first dark circle is the mean spheroid of the earth. Okay, it is the mean spheroid of the earth. Okay, any surface, okay, that is parallel to the mean spheroid of the earth, that is called a level surface. Okay, any surface that is parallel to the mean spheroid of the earth, it is called as uh, level surface. Okay, for example our lake. Okay, the water surface of a lake, that is a level surface. Okay, for it is an example of level surface. Then the second thing is a level line. Okay, when I draw on the level surface, that is called a level line. Okay, when I draw a line on the leveled surface, that is called a level line. Okay, it is shown in the image present in your right hand side. That is second image, also it is showing the level line. Okay, it is just above level, that is a level line. So next one is horizontal plane. In previous slide we have seen a level surface. Okay, now the horizontal plane is the plane which is tangential to the level surface. Okay, the plane tangential to the level surface is a horizontal plane, and the line lying on the horizontal plane, it is the horizontal line. Okay, it is shown in the image on your right hand side, the horizontal line and how the level surface it is there, both are tangential. Okay, the next one is a vertical line. Vertical line, it is towards the direction of gravity. Okay, it is also called as the plumb line. Okay, plumb line, or it is taken towards the direction of gravity, that is called vertical line. The plane passing through the vertical line, it is called as vertical plane. Okay, a plane nothing but a four-dimensional figure. A line is a line, it will be connecting 2 points. Okay, so now I'll be telling about datum surface or a line. So if you see in this image given below, the datum surface it is shown just below the level surface. Okay, and from the datum surface the elevation is measured. Okay, it is shown in the left hand side of the image, that is elevation. It is marked with flower braces. Okay, from datum surface it is measured to the level surface. So now datum surface can be defined as an imaginary level surface from which all the vertical distances are measured. Okay, likewise we have to see in India. In India, the datum adopted for GTS survey, that is Great Trigonometrical Survey, they are adopting the datum as mean sea level at Karachi. Okay, let's say some it is just 500 meters above mean sea level. When we say in case of GTS survey, it is 500 meter above the mean sea level at Karachi. The next term is a very important term called as reduced level. So if you see in the image given below, there is a green color line which is called as datum line. That is our reference line. From the datum line there is a red color arrow mark and also a blue color arrow mark. The red color arrow is just above the datum line and blue is just below the datum line. Both are vertical distances. Red is measured above the datum line and blue is measured below the datum line. So what the vertical distance is measured above or below the datum line, it is called as reduced level. So the red color and blue color line, it is called as reduced level. The difference is whenever I measure the datum reduced level above the datum line, that is positive reduced level. Whenever I measure the reduced level below the datum line, that will be a negative reduced level. Okay, so the next term is line of collimation. Before that, have a look at the image given below. It is the telescope. On the right hand side of the telescope we have the eyepiece, the diaphragm screw, and there is a bubble at the center, and to the left hand side we have the object glass, okay, through which object is visible to us. So now the diaphragm will be having a crosshair, okay, and the object glass will be having an optical center. Now coming to the line of collimation, the imaginary line passing through the crosshair and the optical center of object glass, it is called as line of collimation. Okay, it is also called as line of sight. Okay, the next terminology is axis of a telescope. Have a look at the image on your left hand side. We have the eyepiece at the left side and the object glass at the right side. That is in a telescope we have two things, eyepiece and object glass. So the axis of telescope, it is the imaginary line passing through the center of the eyepiece and optical center of the object glass. Okay, the imaginary line passing through the center of eyepiece and optical center of object glass is called axis of telescope. Next term is axis of a bubble tube. See here, in the image given below, there is a curved part of the bubble tube. Okay, so the tangential line for this longitudinal curve of bubble tube, it is called as the axis of bubble tube. Okay, the tangential line passing through the longitudinal curve of the bubble tube, it is called as axis of bubble tube. Okay, the next term is benchmarks. Benchmarks are very important marks or important points for doing our leveling. Okay, they are the fixed points or marks of known reduced levels. Okay, their reduced levels are known to us, and those reduced levels are determined with the help of some reference datum line. Okay, so these benchmarks will be serving as reference points for conducting leveling operations in roads construction or railway construction. For those purposes, it will be acting as a reference point. We have different types of benchmarks available, and in that first one is Great Trigonometric Survey benchmarks. It is established by Survey of India. At every 100 kilometers we can find one GTS benchmarks. Okay, like this stone which is shown on your right hand side, there will be some stone marked with GTS letters, and the elevation will be given. and those reduced level are measured with reference to mean sea level at Karachi. Okay, that MSL at Karachi is the datum for all GTS benchmarks. Okay, the next one is permanent benchmarks. Permanent benchmarks are established by PWD departments, and those are established between GTS benchmarks. Okay, between two GTS benchmarks there will be some permanent benchmarks. Okay, it may be mentioned at the parapet wall of a bridge or a culvert, or in the kilometers tone which is present on the sides of roadways, or it may be on the platforms, railway platforms as shown in this image. The third one is arbitrary benchmarks. Arbitrary is random. Okay, so the random benchmarks assumed for a small leveling operations, they are called as arbitrary benchmarks. Okay, then the fourth one is temporary benchmarks. So whenever a leveling operations is done, at the end of the day we will have some temporary benchmarks. Okay, from that benchmarks we will start the next day's leveling. Okay, those benchmarks are called as temporary benchmarks. Those temporary benchmarks may be the kilometer stones or any parapet walls, like that we can have it as a temporary benchmarks. Next terminology is backside. To understand backside we can have a look at the image given below, in which that blue color rectangular thing is our dumpy level, and this black and white rod is black and white line is our leveling staff. Okay, so whenever I read a reading from the dumpy level by placing the leveling rod at a known elevation at the point A, okay, that is called backside. Okay, the staff reading taken at the point of known elevation is called backside. Okay, it is also called as plus side, and it is the first site or first reading taken whenever a leveling operation is started. Then the second one is foresight. Foresight, it is the staff reading taken at a point whose elevation is to be determined. That is the point whose elevation is not known to us, or the point whose elevation we have to determine. That is called foresight. It is also called as minus sight. Okay. Then intermediate sight, it is the staff reading taken at an unknown elevation between backside and foresight. Okay, so it is called as intermediate sight. Then last one is a change point or a turning point. So it is a point where the shifting of level take place. Okay, whenever the level is shifted from one place to another, we have to take both the foresight as well as the backside. Okay, foresight is the point where the elevation is not known, and the backside is the point where the elevation is known. So both the backside and foresight has to be taken in case of changing point or turning point. The last terminology is height of instrument. So if you look at this image, after the dumpy level is leveled to the ground, then the elevation of the plane of collimation, it is termed as height of the instrument. Okay, the elevation or the height of the plane of collimation, it is termed as height of the instrument. In this image it is shown with the green color dotted lines. That is the height of instrument. Okay, so in this presentation we have seen what is leveling and where the leveling is used, and different terminologies used in leveling. Okay, if you have any doubts, please let me know. Thank you.